Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in and watching today. If this is your first time watching us, I'm Mandy, this is Sydney, and we're Lesby Fit Adventures. And just 1 month ago, we moved in to our new Brinkley Z 3100 full time, and we're excited to show you all around. So come join us for the full tour.
Let's turn off the love.
So if I'm not inside, I'm probably out here tinkering, as my wife likes to say. So we have our wet bay here, and what I love about the Brinkley system is that the gray tank and the black tank valves are fully electronic, so I don't have to yank that thing out and then make sure I get it all the way snug back in there. Hot and cold water so that we can hook up. We've got a shower hose we can hook up here. You've got your traditional Nautilus system. As you can see, we put our pressure gauge on, permanently mounted, and then our fresh water and our black tank fill both have a gauge so we can monitor how much water is going in. There is a 110 outlet here, and then you've got your light here for when I'm out here at night filling those tanks for the morning's showers. We keep our black tank bin right here for all the hoses, extra parts, and then this is mostly my toolbox, right? I've got my power tools here, so saws, drills, stuff like that, hand tools in these two here. And I have a funny story to tell you guys. So I keep trash here for my gloves, I keep dish soap to wash my hands, and bleach. But I was out here doing tanks the other day, and Dora went to the bathroom, so I was ready. And I tossed the poop bag in here once she was done, and she went twice. We call it a double duping. She does it all the time. And I tossed those in there, and then I finished up what I was doing out here. And of course I forgot then that they were in there. And so we went, it was a warm day. It was in the 80s that day. We went for a walk with the pups. We came back and I was like, oh man. And I had also flushed the black tanks that day. I was like, oh man, it kind of has like maybe what I think would be like a black tank smell. I've never really smelled the black tank, but it has a black tank smell. And I opened this up and I was like, oh man, it really hit me in the face when I opened that door. So we took all this stuff out of here and crawled up in there just to discover that I had forgotten to discard the poop bags. All right, but moving over here, so we have tankless hot water. When we have full hookups, we are not roughing it anyway. Long hot showers, back-to-back showers, laundry, washing dishes, whatever you need, all the hot water you can imagine. And then our furnace, of course, is here. In addition to, obviously, you know, you have your tank where your gray and your black empty out to. But what I love is that Brinkley already put on the sewer hose holder so that we don't have to do anything with that at all. So we have one of the first 1,000 units that Brinkley ever built, and it comes with the electronic Lippert leveling system. I do know that Brinkley has recently made upgrades, and so you may have a hydraulic system if you're looking at Brinkley, but we have the 4-point leveling system electric wise. And then our first couple nights that we were here, probably our first week, we had hard freeze warning. So the nights were getting down into the 20s, which meant that our furnace was running, and we did not have tank heaters on the propane tank yet. And so we slurped through a 40-gallon propane tank, which we have two 40 gallons on each side. We slept through a 40-gallon propane tank. Allegedly, according to the dealership, it was full in 3.5 days. And so we realized that we needed to find that solution and make ourselves more efficient. And an easy way to do that is to add a tank heater. This one has a timer on it. I can take it up and I just click it to 24 hours and I let that timer set, and it's set right now at I think 100 or 110 degrees. But what you need to know about heating with propane is that that is liquid propane inside that tank, and in order to be used, whether we're cooking with it, heating water, or just using the furnace, it has to become a gas. And so when it's really cold outside, you can't get the BTUs that you need to be able to go from liquid to gas, and so you're inefficient, wildly inefficient. And so by simply having a propane tank heater, you can stretch your propane a lot further. Welcome to the land of Lesby Fit upgrades. So let's talk about what we've done here. If you've watched our previous episodes, you know that we intend to do a ton of boondocking in the future. And so what we have is the RVMP Flex Power 5500i. I stands for inverter, meaning this thing, if you're only needing about 50% of what it can give, it's only going to run at 50%, 75 or 100. It's inverted, so you're not just going full blast to, you know, run the TV or the computers during your workday or whatever you need. Only if you've got both those ACs on and a bunch of other stuff will this thing run full blast, which I absolutely love. If you're looking at Brinkley's, you may or may not already know that they do not come with batteries because they know that everybody wants a different battery setup. And so we went with, they're under here protected even though they don't need to be, but 2 Battle-Born lithium batteries are up there. What you see is we have our solar controller, so we did add solar panel to the top, which we will show you. But up here, the bad boy that makes those solar panels work is our 3000 watt inverter, which had to be added as well.
All right, on the other side is all of our storage, and this is the stuff that we use every day, so trying to keep it close in. So we've got our Blackstone grill in here, all of our sports and workout equipment, and then our bike helmets, our extra water, because drinking water we always got to keep stocked. What is great is we have this outlet here, so this is where we have the cord running, which goes under to power our tank heaters. We've got the Bluetooth here. We also have the lights here. One is for the inside and one is for the underbelly light. We also have a second shower on this side as well, so hot and cold on this side, which is great, so it's right by the door to go in. And then this is where we keep all of our shoes. And then on here, which is great, is we have a quick connect for our propane. So we have our long hose here to take us to our Blackstone with the shutoff valve that's built into the regulator. So this is super convenient with grilling because we just tap into our propane tanks, and we have the second 40-pound propane tank on this side of the RV as well. All right, and on the back of the rig, we have our trunk. So this is extra great storage. It's actually built up right under the back couch. A lot of RVs we looked at didn't have this extra rear storage. We were super excited about that. Keeping all the stuff that's flat in here, our chairs, our tables. It's climate control. It's got light. So you can keep anything there. It's also got a hitch. So this is where we'll look to put our bike rack on as well, because we're not going to double tow.
So up here, we're at the front of the rig on the roof. So right below us is the bedroom. We've got the bedroom air conditioner, which is nice and low profile. And then the Big Daddy Mac of ACs down there that cools the rest of the rig is down there. We did go ahead and add 2 Max Air vent covers, and this just allows us rain or shine, no matter what the weather is going on. We can open that fan vent cover that is underneath there. The Brinkley Model Z 3100 comes with a single Furrion 370 watt solar panel. The converter on board of the rig is already wired and ready to go to add an additional Furrion 370 watt solar panel, and so we went ahead and did that for 740 watts total. So that means out here in the desert, full sun, hitting it just right, we can pull probably like 42 amps somewhere in there. So we can absolutely get through a workday using our solar panels, assuming there's no tree or cloud cover on that particular day. And then the last upgrade we made up here was our Starlink. So we did not want to have to be climbing up and down the roof every single setup to be able to have access to internet. We work from home full time, and so having full connectivity was crucial for us to be able to live this lifestyle and afford to do what we do. And so we went with a permanently mounted Starlink. We can technically use this while we're driving down the road should we ever need or be out somewhere where there's no internet and you lose that GPS signal. That's really where that would be beneficial. But just like at home, we went with a business plan, so we have full connectivity for whether it be TV watching, uploading, downloading, all those things we do for work, taking work calls, whatever it may be. We have enough internet to get the job done just as we would in a sticks and bricks.
All right, and with the steps, one of the upgrades we did was the Brinkley stick-on rubber sealers. These are great for the dogs, anti-slip. And with these Mo Ride steps, great for cleaning as well as when you get ready to put them in. They flip up and then they just go right into the RV. So the moment you've been waiting for. Let's go on inside and check out the inside of our Brinkley.
As you immediately step inside, you're greeted by the control panel. So you have a standard on switch with a dimmer for your interior lights. This is your living room max vent fan, and then this is for our solar. And then up here we have awnings, slides, and then all the lights and tanks. What I will warn you, just like all the other tank readers, you can't always believe what it says. It gives you a general idea, but that's about as accurate as it gets. As you enter on that bottom cabinet, what you'll see is the generator controller, the on and off switch, as well as the inverter controller, and we have of course added a little spot to hang our keys. And then below, the breaker box.
All right, it's right when you step into the RV, you've got the panels. All right, and this is our one-person foyer. So enough room to turn around. Sometimes it's a little tight to be able to put your jacket on in the foyer. But the great thing, these steps down here, they are backlit, and this is where we keep our everyday shoes, and this is where we sit to put our shoes on. So just a one-person spot. This rug, though, has been a game changer, especially with the dogs out here in Arizona, with all of the dust and the mud. We've had some rainy days already in the first month here. So this helps gather that off your shoes and the paws, keeps most of the dirt out of the RV. And then as you step up, all right, one of the upgrades that we did right away was we added one for each of us, a two-prong hook for our jackets. It's been jacket season, so this has been nice to have a designated spot for that. And then also here, all right, so this is our thermostat for the kitchen main living area, both for the AC and the heat. One of the things that we found with this is it's not very accurate. It's reading 78 right now. Definitely not true, but gives us a good idea if it's getting warmer or getting cooler, kind of where to set that. All right, and once you come in, then immediately as you come into the main living area to the left is where we have our dinette table. And I know a lot of people kind of switch this out or want something different or don't like the dinette. We have loved having this dining table. So we most of our meals here together. It's also, one of us is, during the day, one of us is sitting here working as a good workspace. It's great for playing cards and games. One of the cool features, though, check this out. All right, it's got a pull-out silverware drawer. All right, so this is nice to have a designated spot for all of our silverware. It's nice and snug for travel day. And then with this bench, multi-purpose. It opens up. You could take it into the living room for a coffee table, which we found is kind of cumbersome. It's kind of heavy, so not something. Plus, we like the open space of the living room, but it can be done for that. It also lifts up. You could pull it in for like to eat there or to work when you're using it at the couch. Also, the back here comes off and can be put on, to make it into more of a footrest or a bench for extra seating. But for right now, we store stuff in here that we don't need very often because, again, a little cumbersome to get in and out, but it's great to have. And it's really nice. There's a lot of space here that separates between the couch and the dinette, so plenty of room that makes this totally functional. Now, we've only had ever the two of us sitting here, and it works great. I do think if you had 4 people here, it would be a little snug, but it would work. From the dining area, as we head into our movie theater seating, we have 2 recliners here. Super spacious, plenty of elbow room when we're both sitting here. This is a very comfortable chair. Then you've got the pool tab. You want to put your feet up, or if you want to recline all the way back for movie night. Also, a feature that's my least favorite is the heated seats. All right, also has a USB charger. This is on each side. And then in the center, you've got a charger here, station. You also use it as a cup holder. And then extra storage. This is where we keep our laptop chargers. So they're not always out, but they have a spot. And then above, the overhead storage. So in here, we've got extra supplements, our computer stuff, all of my work stuff, and then a bin for games. We found that having the different bins, keeping everything kind of compartmentalized, definitely keeps things organized. And hopefully we'll keep things together on travel day. Then when you come to the back of the RV, this is probably one of my favorite seats. All of these windows give you so much natural light as well as a great view. I'll be excited to back the RV up to some great views with these awesome full windows. What's great about these windows is they have the blackout shades. Also lets in a lot of great natural light. It's great to have the flexibility, especially as right now we're in an RV park and we're pretty tight to our neighbors. So it's nice to be able to have that blackout. With this on each side of the couch, it's kind of like hidden storage. All right. So on this side, we have some chargers and our games that we use frequently, workout gear on the other side. So also, you have the pop-up storage with the outlets, your USB and USB-C outlets to charge everything. And then when you're not using them, you can tuck them away and keep everything hidden. The great thing about this couch as well is sometimes, maybe it's football Sunday or movie night, and we just want to lounge as a family. This folds out into a queen-size bed, and then everybody can snuggle up and watch a movie. And then above the couch, this storage is super deep. It's over 16 inches deep, which allows us to store all that extra stuff like paper towels or tins, keeping lighter things up high as well as in the back of the RV. So we definitely want to go with some lighter stuff, our extra sheets, our sheets from when we fold this out to a bed, everything is right there. So on the opposing slide out of our theater seating is our electric fireplace, which this has come in so handy with these cooler nights. We have found, especially when the lows are in the 40s, 50s, we can just use our fireplace overnight and throughout the morning, and it keeps us plenty warm. Has a thermostat and a timer, or like now you could keep it on just for the ambiance and the look without the heat. Above it, secret storage. Lighter stuff in here, stuff that's not needed, regular, just some backup stuff or warranty stuff. So check this out. So we have another window here of the opposing other slide, which is great for our cross breeze. But also, we've got a television. All right, so you don't want your TV out. This gives you extra flat top area. But then you also have your TV with a simple touch of the button. Above our TV, these uppers here, it just kind of made sense that the kitchen cabinets kind of flowed this direction. So we've got our mixing bowls, our lunch boxes, shaker cups, and our extra stash of chips. So this allowed us to have some additional kitchen storage and just kind of flow with things that are light, being that they are in the uppers. We love the openness of this living space. So having this area rug makes it just feel more homey in here. But really, this is where we spend a lot of time stretching. This is where we start every morning, stretching, doing body weight exercises. The dogs love it. They've got their dog bed down here. It's a great spot by the fireplace. So this is definitely, having this open floor is a good multi-use area that we are very thankful for in this rig.
My favorite workstation, the heart of any home, a kitchen. What I love about this model, and one of the biggest deciding factors in us choosing this floor plan, was the big center island. Whether I'm chopping vegetables, doing dishes, whatever we've got going on in the kitchen, you are part of everything that's going on, which I love. But Brinkley, they made it feel like a residence. We've got 2 pendants above the island, just like you would in your sticks and bricks home. The beautiful faucet, lots of elegance, but also very practical. So full glass, the sprayers, but also the button, the stop and cut off water for those boondocking days when you're reserving. And then a nice big open sink. I prefer one large open sink. It was a factor in deciding what we were going to choose, and I love that this is a nice big deep sink. It makes it feel truly like a home. And as we showed you before, all those day one must-haves for living in an RV, those compact towels also come with a little strap, making it easier to hang. But this, Brinkley thought of it all, so we've got our trash and our recycling that we keep here. But then, as you know, paper towels, which we mostly use outside all of the time, plus extra storage here where we keep our plasticware and foil, things like that. And then the sink, I love this little cubby. An old magic eraser, scraper, since there is no garbage disposal, stays there. Plus your traditional under the sink storage with some not so traditional items. Our big heavy air fryer. This was kind of the best spot for us to be able to easily grab it in and out. And then your typical under the sink items. But something I do want you guys to notice that Brinkley does, which is not something that most of its competitors do, is all of the connections on the plumbing are brass. This makes them far less likely to crack and spring leaks over time, particularly on those bumpy ride days. From under the sink, we have 3 drawers for storage. What I love about these drawers is that they are nice and deep. We have a full fridge, which you guys are going to see soon, but this is where we keep all of our glassware. We stack it to the top, fully enforced, full wood, fully reinforced wood, as well as we put contact paper down on all of our drawers to help with the sliding for ride day. So we'll see how that rides. And then moving up, all the lids that go with the snapware that we have, and then one of 2 drawers of my cooking utensils, because as you guys will soon see, I cook most of what we eat, which I very much enjoy doing, which is why a kitchen was such a big factor. And what every chef dreams of, your very own custom-made spice drawer. Like I was just telling you guys, I cook most of what we eat from scratch, and so having a designated spot to keep all those things organized, it really is helpful and it's nice to have. In here we keep pots and pans. These go back nice and deep. This storage area is as deep as this counter is, and so all of the pots and pans fit here. All of my extra cooking gadgets, things like an electric teapot, my food processor, Vitamix, those types of things go underneath there. This stove I love. I was worried. I had heard mixed reviews on RV ovens, and so I was concerned if it was going to work. And so rather than putting together a big dish with, maybe $50 to $100 worth of ingredients in it, what I did was bought a pack of cookies, baked them right up, and they were excellent. The oven works great. I can fit a full-size cookie sheet in there. I don't know if I could cook multiple things at once like you would maybe on a big Thanksgiving day, but we don't oven cook very often except for when we bake cookies. But this 3-burner stove I use a ton, and it cooks great. I missed having a gas stove in our previous rental home, and so it is so nice to have a gas stove back. What I have found is that propane actually cooks hotter a little bit than natural gas like we had in Ohio, and so things cook faster, which is great, and you use less propane. We do keep a little piece of home atop the stove. This is just a wooden cutting board essentially, and this is to protect these counters. We absolutely love these countertops. They're beautiful. They are fairly functional, but I would not put something hot on them. So we use the wood just in case. And then your microwave, a residential style. It's incredibly quiet, very powerful, and suits all of our needs for reheating those leftovers. This is sort of snacks overflow meets bread basket. So this is where we keep the active, they're open, we're munching on them snacks, as well as all of our bread and buns. And then in this cabinet is where we keep all of our eating dishes that we've kept. So we have some paper plates, but our plates, the 2 pieces of glassware, and then our Yetis get kept up there. So as you can see in this beautiful galley style kitchen, plenty of counter space. One thing that we need to find a better solution for is, where do you guys keep your fruit, your produce that gets kept out? This is so far the only place that we found it is right here, and well, I need some better ideas. So what do you guys suggest? Where can we keep this fruit that's off the counter? Because it does kind of drive us both nuts. Up next, charged by the solar or the 7-way pin when we're going down the road, so we never have any issues of it going off, is our Fury residential style fridge. I love the freezer. There's plenty of space in the freezer for everything that we need. I will say, you guys are gonna see it. This is really how it looks. Grocery day was just, we go to grocery day Friday, we're fully loaded, getting ready to cook. And well, we fill this bad boy. This is generally how it looks for us, but it does hold all of our needs, and the quality of the fridge is such that even when it's completely loaded like that, we haven't had any issues with the heating or the cooling inside. We don't have any warm or cold spots where anything is freezing or not getting cold enough. So it is doing what we need, and as you can see, we keep a lot of stuff in there. I cook all the dog's food, 95% of our food, and most of it comes as fresh veggies and produce, and so as you can see, we keep that fully stocked. But the rest of the food, also fully stocked for Snacks McGee, holding that camera back there, is our pantry. We did order 2 additional shelves. So Brinkley originally only came with the 4 shelves, and we ordered 2 more. So starting bottom to top, we keep our 3-gallon water jugs in here. We each drink a gallon of water a day, and so having lots of drinking water on hand was important to us. We did not want to go with 5-gallon jugs, however, because if there was a day where my back was really sore or you know, something was going on, it just seemed like a 5-gallon jug was very cumbersome to maneuver when it was totally full, as well as the height. We were trying to maximize the height because we do have this electronic push button dispenser that just keeps water coming out very easily for us. So we keep 2 of these here, and because we and the dogs eat so much rice all the time, we go Costco size on the rice, and we have no problem fitting that down here. But as you will see with the rest of these shelves in our goods, most of them are in these plastic containers, and everything is sitting on contact paper, and that's really something that we hope that is a benefit to us for those ride days in the future. As we move up, one genius thing that Brinkley thought of was putting an outlet in there. Truthfully, I think the intention behind the outlet was for people's coffee pots and Keurigs and such, but for us, because we did permanently mount the Starlink and the tube that comes down from the ceiling is right behind this wall, we went ahead and mounted our Starlink system right in here, and that way it can plug into the pantry. And then, as we've learned from all the expert RVers out there, the lightest things possible we keep at the top of the pantry. So plenty of storage space for all of that. We do, however, have a little bit more overflow because, again, we cook a lot, we eat everything at home, and so those heavy canned goods, things like the root beer, you know, anything in glass or a heavy can, essentially all the heavier stuff comes right here, again, just to protect it for a ride day. But the rest of this hutch or coffee bar, whatever you know want to call it or would use it for, we love immensely. We keep our aromatherapy candle here, and we try to keep this just really clear, mostly for just mental clarity, but essentially 2 junk drawers. I'm not going to show you inside those, but up here we love this storage. It's been incredibly functional for us. We keep all of our camera gear in these 2 bins. We've got hats and gloves here, all of Miley and Dora's stuff, and then just some, you know, basically some everyday supplies like our walkie-talkies, some office stuff, just stuff that we need to easily grab pretty regularly. And the last part of the kitchen that I absolutely love, that Miley and Dora, quite honestly, are just too bougie for. They won't drink out of silicone, so they get their regular thing here. But for all you pet owners out there, this awesome feature, Brinkley thought of it. So you have your collapsible bowls that go in here for water, food, whatever your dog would need. These can be taken out and washed, and then when dog is done eating or things, you know, don't need to be out, and tuck it right back in there. A very pet-friendly rig all around.
This is really where their food goes.
So one of the things that people often said when we first told them we were moving into an RV was, well, I need a real bathroom or a real shower. And we have that in our rig. So let me show you around our bathroom for one. So Brinkley thought of it. We got the hooks for our towels. So those are great. Those are built in. And then we have our linen closet, which this storage goes 2 feet deep, it's 11 high, and then you've got the open ones at the bottom. So we have more than enough space for all of our toiletries as well as extra. We're pretty stocked up on that TP right now. And in the linen closet is the tankless hot water heater monitor. And then the shower. So again, this was a concern maybe of having the shower. For us, thankfully, neither of us are over 5'8", so we have plenty of space. But with the skylight that's up here, came built in with the Brinkley with everything for, you know, our shampoo and our body wash. And then we also added the hooks for our washcloths and all that. Also great swimsuits. We've had to hang our raincoats on them several times so that we could drip in here as we come in from outside and spot for our razors. So more than enough space in the shower. The sink, now this is one of the things I will say is tiny. It's a tiny little cute sink like you might see on an airplane, but really at the end of the day I wash my hands and I brush my teeth in here, so it's more than enough for what I need. Medicine cabinet opens up all of our everyday use items. And below the sink, plenty of tall storage. We've got all of our cleaning supplies, our black tank treatment, chemicals at the bottom, and then the top for our more everyday stuff for taller storage. And 3 drawers here. So between the medicine cabinet, the drawers, and the cabinet, we have more than enough space for all of our everyday use stuff right here. But we are 2 pretty simple gals, so not a lot of high maintenance in the bathrooms. And then we have our upgraded full flush porcelain toilet, our travel squatty potty, which we already had, which is the perfect size, and then the toilet paper holder and extra storage. And this is magnet, so it's going to stay put on travel days. One of the things that we were challenged, we tried to visualize it before we got here, like where does the bathroom trash go? We had different ideas. We were looking at some that kind of went on here, but then that invades that space. I don't want my trash in the cabinet and stuff. So ultimately what we came up with is we just kept our regular size trash can and it stays in the shower. Because ultimately, you know, when we take the shower, yes, right now, every day, maybe not boondocking, but you know, we just take it out, we shower, once it's dry in the floor in there, we put it back in. So it's really been no big deal. To be able to keep it in here. So ultimately in our bathroom, there's plenty of space to handle your business every day.
Welcome to the master bedroom. So when we started out with the idea of looking at living in an RV full time and we sat down, we didn't have many deal breaker must-haves, but one of them was a king size bed. Those 2 little pups all of a sudden stretch out to become like 400-pound dogs each or something, I swear. But those 2 little pups do sleep in bed with us. They always have. And so a king-size bed was crucial. It is like our own family fort. It's our secret nook. The walking space on the side, as you can see, is tight. You have to walk side to side. But there is plenty of space to ultimately get in and out. And the more climbing and crawling we do at the end, the more functional movement we have, the younger we stay. So these blackout shades come down, love them, make them incredibly difficult to wake up early in the morning when they're shut. But this is where we recharge for the night. Right behind where I was here is the closet. We have a plug down low. If I wanted to mount the vacuum to the wall, there is a cordless vacuum prep there. We elect not to do it because it leans right here with no trouble at all. And then we have allowed to continue to be able to have the space to put our coats in here. But the pants that we don't wear very often, the stuff that's out of season kind of comes, you know, to the back of the closet, just like it did in your closet at home. And then our everyday wearing stuff is right here, along with our everyday grab and go workout stuff. One system we did develop, because it is a small space, it's not like we have this guest bedroom to toss clothes in anymore or anything like that. But you know how like at the end of the day, you take your pants off and you're like, well, I didn't wear those very long, or I didn't really do anything today, so you're gonna wear them again. And so you have this pile of, well, it's not dirty, but it's not clean. I can't hang it back up in the closet. So we have a system. The laundry basket is for those, they're not dirty or clean, they need to be worn again. And then our official hamper for the actual dirty things, they go there. And then as you can see, LED lights to light up the closet so you can easily see inside. And oh yeah, you want to come to my fort? Back there in the crevice, lots of shoes that we don't wear every day, or the clothes that are kind of out of season, right? So right now it's winter. It hasn't been shorts weather, so we'll make that swap. Jeans will probably go down there in the next month or two, and shorts will come up, but plenty of storage and closet space for all the majority of our clothing. Alright, so this was an upgrade that we did. This doesn't come standard, but it does come prepped and ready for you to be able to add these. We did the separate unit, washer and dryer. Even though we do plan to do tons of boondocking, and we'll go periods of time without using the washer dryer during those times, it was important for us that when we had those full hookups, we could do all of our laundry in-house. And when we have had full hookups now, I will say this, like, it is a much smaller load. It's probably like 2/3 of what I could get in a regular size washer and dryer. The only thing that we own that cannot be washed is actually this comforter. So either using the RV resorts that we're staying at or finding laundromats, we will have to do to wash our comforter, which is why we have a backup comforter and all of the great storage underneath. This bed lifts up here for lots of storage, and we keep things like that in there. But we love having the washer and dryer separate. So right next to the washer and dryer, they didn't just leave this dead space. Brinkley didn't. They created storage. We haven't completely figured out how to use it yet. Right now, only our alarm clock goes in there. We have a alarm clock that illuminates the room softly like a sunrise to help us wake up. So only we've used that so far. The rest of that is sort of, I think a lot of people put decorations and things, but it is great storage to have. There is a plug right here on the side of the dresser. And then I do love that the dresser comes built in. We have all the usual suspects that you would keep in a dresser: socks, undergarments, pajamas. All of those things fit fully into that dresser, which is great. And then I do love that this window opens fully because it is the emergency exit. But again, the blackout shades that you can slide open. And then the TV mounted as high as possible, just like you would need it for your neck when you're laying down in bed. So we do have the TV in bed that we can watch. An upgrade that Brinkley makes that we are heavily considering is to be able to have this top of the dresser come out even further and be a desk, because this is actually when we are both working from home at the same time. Mandy does enjoy working in here. She sets this up to be able to work and use this TV as a monitor of hers as she is working. Behind the door here, this is magnetized so that it doesn't fling open, but you can shut this door for privacy if you had other people here and needed it. And this is where we keep our ropes, and I love that Brinkley included these hooks right here so that we're able to use for that, so that you have the nice long head to toe floor length for those. And then again, not leaving dead space, what I love that Brinkley did was add the bookshelf, which we absolutely use. We debated on whether or not we were going to get rid of all of our hard books when moving into the RV full time, and we ultimately did get rid of, I think it was probably close to 75% of our books, but we kept, the rock stars, the highlights, the ones that you want to read over and over again. So we use that space to the max. Again, yet to ride, so we'll let you know how the shelf holds up on ride day. So we love having the bookshelves here. And another great feature is, because the bed does take up the entire slide out, we have the nightstands here, essentially just a little shelf. I have chapstick and remote. Oftentimes a cup of water or a bottle of water gets tucked away. And then we each individually have our own reading lights to be able to sit up and read and take advantage of the nice quiet space. Thank you so much today for joining us and taking a tour of our home, the Brinkley Model Z 3100. Join us next week as we take a deeper dive into how minimalism and living with less was our first step towards freedom, and it can be yours too.
And if you enjoyed hanging out with us today, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and join us as we release a new video every Thursday.
Thank you.
Coach Mandy.
in the house.
Let's turn up the love.